clobbering time.
Ooh.
Welcome back to another episode of the Album Book Club. This is a very special week. It is our Halloween week. Unfortunately, we did not fall on Halloween because we changed our schedule.
Yep.
But we also have Liv back in the stew joining us.
Hello, thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
Hey, look and stall real quick. I gotta fix this camera.
I'm going to stall real quick because he's got to fix that camera. This week we are dressed as the Fantastic Four. It was just significantly funnier to have everybody pull from a way different area to dress from. Yeah. Real excited. This week we checked out Welcome to Horrorwood. It's the sequel album to last year's Silver Scream that we checked out. By Ice Nine Kills. It came out in 2021. It's chocked full of a bunch of horror references, and it's quite a good way to spend October if you're a metalhead. We ready to hop right into our top three?
Yeah.
Cool. I've got Ex Mortis, The Box, and Welcome to Horrorwood.
I've got Shower Scene, Ex Mortis, and Funeral Derangements.
I have Hip to Be Scared, FOY, and Funeral Derangements.
I had Ex Mortis, Farewell to Flesh, and Welcome to Horrorwood.
All right. We'll go ahead and head on into our bottom song. I have Assault and Batteries.
I said take your pick.
I also have Assault and Batteries.
I also have Take Your Pick.
For a second, I really thought that Liv just meant any song on the album. Go ahead and pick one. And then I remembered, yeah, that's a song title. It's been a long night already. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hop right into our first track here. Opening Night. I gave this a 6 out of 10.
I said 8 out of 10.
I also give this a 6.
I gave it a 5.
Rules. I just kind of like this one a little more.
It's an intro.
Mm-hmm. I think there's not much to critique. It does what it needs to do. It sets the theme.
Yeah, I just wrote it's cheesy and funny and goofy. It kind of fits.
Gosh, you've already been on an episode and you don't know all of the rules.
What are the rules?
Intros, outros, interludes gets 5 or 6 if they're cool.
Hey, no one told me that.
I've given some 7s out.
Yeah, it's true. That's like a intro plus.
I give it
plus.
a 10 to one of them. That was a very special case.
All right.
Can't make it do it.
Are they on?
No. They might be dead. There it is.
All right. We'll go ahead and hop right into track 2. Welcome to Horrorwood.
We're just going to get rid of this.
I gave this an 8 out of 10.
I also said 8 out of 10.
I'm going to give this one an 8.
I guess I'm going to give this one an 8.
Yeah. It's got a real pretty cool soft intro after a jump scare. Other than that, it's got just a good groove, a memorable chorus. The guitar solo and tone itself is very, very much the same as every single other metal musician in 2021. So do with that information what you will. And then they do have a progression kind of switch halfway through the song as like a refrain. And it is not done particularly the cleanest. And I only wrote those down so I had some critiques of this entire album.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good opening scene to their made-up town called Horrorwood, where I assume that all of these other stories are taking place. The jump scare in this did get me pretty good. I was at work and I literally jumped.
Nice. I don't have a lot of negatives other than just not loving drum triggers, but it's the style. It's nothing I can say too bad. But just it was weird to get an intro after the intro. I think this almost could have been an intro track on its own. Like track 1 doesn't need to be there if this had an intro, but it's hard. It's fast. I like it.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that there was an actual intro on this. I figured it would have just started with this one. I think that might be why I'm down a point on that. But I think this is probably the song off this album that I've heard the most off of the album, like outside of this format, just because it's on one of my playlists, and that playlist really loves to throw it up in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got good energy. Breakdown goes hard. Got some cool solo parts. The word "just" is written here at the end for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Good track.
Yeah. The only thing I'll give it is kind of I didn't see it as a plus or a minus having the dual intro. It's just because it felt like it was supposed to be a reminiscent nod to found footage. So it was like that the thing is like, oh yeah, we found this and here's what it is.
I thought you were talking about this one for a second.
No, the whole like overarching album. I guess that's what the intro concept sets up. And so it's like it made sense for this to have an intro too, because this is really where it was supposed to start. They just gave you a disclaimer. But yeah, in the context of the actual album, it's kind of stupid. All right. Does anyone have anything else? All right, we'll go on to track 3, A Rash Decision. I give this a 7 out of 10.
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Nope, this one got an 8.5 from me.
Give it a 7.5.
And before we get into our review, we get to start our lovely game for the night. Connor and I have been listening to this album for at least, like, what? I've been listening for like 2 years. You probably around the same, maybe a little less.
A little less.
So we know all the movies off, like, not by heart, but at a well enough guess when we hadn't listened to it or looked into it for a second. So figured we'd give the other couch a chance to guess it for no points, just for fun.
Okay, well, I feel like I'm going to be really bad at this. I don't know what this one would be, which makes me think I probably haven't seen this movie, but I think it's some sort of horror movie with a disease, maybe? I'm not sure.
Oh, you think A Rash has something to do with it? That would make sense. I don't know. I was trying to think of, like, ones where the parent kills the kid or something. I don't know. I didn't listen to the lyrics at all, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyone have any official guess?
No. What do you got?
This is the film Cabin Fever.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
It's not even a deep cut. It's just like a not remembered cut, I guess. That's what I'd say. Is it like 09?
I don't remember.
It's a movie I've seen maybe once and don't particularly love.
It's where they go to a cabin and one of the guys loses his mind. Is that right?
I think so, but it's because of like a parasite.
Uh-huh.
There is something that causes the cabin fever itself.
So it is like a disease. So is that kind of right?
Yeah, but I mean,
there was no points. Can't get a partial.
You also that would have covered everything from like The Thing to
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even know Dawn of the Dead. But yeah, this song, drums were going crazy. Choir was, oh my gosh, amazing. The solo in it had just a kind of off movement to it, but not in a bad way. It was a really fun way. It's just someone stretching the bounds of musical skill. And then the question, is it a crime to kill, was asked. And the answer is yes.
At least in this country.
Mm-hmm.
I think your first 3 notes are like word for word ripped off of mine. But yeah, they had some like break beats on there, which I'm actually a little surprised you had a note about liking.
It worked, you know?
I agree.
It fit the context.
Yeah, this is one that was good enough that I was wondering why I didn't remember it before we did the listen. And that was that. That was the... Sorry, listeners at home.
No, I couldn't hear that much through the headphones.
I got ASMR all through that. Yeah, you took my note about the drum parts being good, but they are really good on this track. I love the energy, and then there's the changes between the sections really work on this one. I don't think it works later. I think some of these songs get a little, manic. They just kind of bounce around everywhere and don't have a real anything to them, and that makes it kind of a hard listen sometimes. But this one didn't have that problem.
Yeah, you kind of hit most of my notes. I did really like the choir part. And I do think it has a good balance between like the heavy parts and like the melody parts. I guess that's how you would describe that. Yeah, not much else to say.
Yeah. To kind of agree with you, Carl, I do really think that this album is set up to be a live show. So all the crazy is just, in my mind, meant to be part of the show.
But there's no, it's just like, it's like snap and snap and snap, and there's no development to any of it. That's my whole problem, is that they do cool stuff, but you have to like, I don't know, you have to be paying attention or you're going to miss it.
This is also, I believe, there's one or two of their guitar players' first album with them, and the only album that this drummer did with them. Or at least recorded with them. So it's kind of strange, to have all the kind of new people on this album that then was like their largest release to date.
Yeah, it's not even like, they're almost like through composed. That's the only way I can say it. There's no verse, chorus, there's no real structure to a lot of these songs. And that's one of the few things I could find to complain about on the whole album, so I figured I'd mention it.
All right, go ahead and hop on into track 4, Assault and Batteries. What movie do you guys think this is?
This is Chucky.
Yeah, Child's Play.
Yep. Yeah, and I gave it a 5.
I gave this one a 7.
No, I also gave this one a 7.
I thought it was fun.
I gave it a 6.
Look,
Pretty sure Logan's about to say all of my complaints about it.
yeah, I think this may be worse than Benson Booning me. It's like just this impression of Chucky that I think is a stretch is like a stretch in its own. It's someone who thinks they remember what Chucky sounds like, but it's really just like the voice box of the doll and not what Chucky as a killer sounds like. And so it just sounds like a middle schooler cursing. And it would be fine if it was the first, 20 to 45 seconds. It'd be great. It's the whole song. And couple that with like just some just okay, I guess, playing. And I think Carl was right, just nothing's developed. So it just kind of is a little annoying to me.
Get the one positive out. There's a pretty cool bass part that gets like 1 single second to shine throughout the entire song. The rest of the song has annoying little chants that pop up way too often, and that was my biggest problem with it.
Do you mean the Toys R Us Kids jingle?
Yes,
they do over and
course.
over again?
Mm-hmm.
That they definitely would be sued for if that was still a company.
That's the one.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. The quick transitions are just a little overstimulating in this one. And I get that's kind of what the movie's like too, but it's just like, it's instantaneous. There's no sort of volume blend. There's no sort of tone blend, anything. It just sounds like you just took a song and slammed it in another song. And it happens over and over again. And the theme's hilarious. Just that itself is a little different than what I'm used to, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's definitely a lot. I guess this one's supposed to be like a parody, so I thought it was super fun. I also just watched this movie for the first time last week, so like it was like fresh on my brain when I listened to this, and I thought it was like super funny to like, I don't know. To me, it seemed like exactly how Chucky would act and like what he would say, which I know you think otherwise, I guess.
I think because I've seen all of them, I have a much different perspective on Chucky than you, who has seen one of them.
Right.
To me,
fair.
it's like this super sophisticated killer that's just insane. But you're like, nah, he's just this voodoo guy in a little doll. And that's fair. Yeah, we can talk a little about this movie. I actually know about Child's Play. So yeah, just the idea of like a little, like a guy being chased by the cops and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna possess a doll.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying concept. This song, I feel like, kind of misses the mark. I feel like a lot of the other songs get the nods a lot better. This felt like a parody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I guess, where my problem lies in with it. It's not a nod to Child's Play. It's a parody of Child's Play. It feels like they kind of watched it at a very surface level, but still forgot half the details.
I do agree with that. I think this is the only one that is like a parody and like is making fun of, like, not making fun of, but kind of making fun of the movie. But I still found it really fun. But I do agree with your point.
Wasn't Child's Play inspired by the Annabelle doll, or am I thinking of a different one?
I don't know.
I'm sure
Probably
maybe
to some degree. Yeah.
Because it's older, right? It's from the era that
Child's Play is 87, 86, in that area.
yeah, most of their stuff was still very. People have heard of kind of this thing when they were doing horror movies.
Yeah, the Warrens were big 60s, 70s, so any guy that Don was what, in his 20s or 30s when he did that movie, so he would have been growing up or like prime adult age for that stuff to have been influential, so it makes sense. All right. We ready to go on to track 5?
Yeah.
All right. The shower scene. What movie you guys think it is?
Do you want to go first?
No, you probably know it.
Psycho.
Yep. I gave it a 6.5.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
I give this one a 7.5.
I give it a 7.25.
Oh, wow.
Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I know that they do the sounds in their music. Yeah, I'm used to it at this point. I've heard it on the first album. So I knew that was coming, and I really liked it. Everything else was just a kind of standard song. It was not bad. It's definitely not one of my favorites. I listen to Ice Nine Kills quite a bit, and don't think I almost ever listen to this one.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite. But this one is on a playlist, so I hear it more often than that. But for the sake of this review, it's kind of all right. I had never heard the actual sound of the shower in this song until today, which was weird.
Oh, really?
But it was cool that they incorporated the string stabs, but it's fine.
You guys want me to talk, huh? This one was
Saying it's fine for the third time.
Let's see.
this one was more structured as a song, I think, which is why I gave it the points I gave it. Especially after the last song, and I like that it still had energy, but I agree that it's just kind of meh as a song. But I liked the energy.
So I think I rated this one so high because it is less metal. It's less aggressive, and I'm not a fan of metal. But I would imagine if you are a fan of Ice Nine Kills, then this is probably one that you would rate lower because you do like the heavier sound. So I would imagine you would want more of that sound. But I think because I'm not the biggest fan of that kind of music, that's why I liked this one more. But yeah.
They also robbed the melody from Another Brick in the Wall, like towards the end, but they did it so masterfully that I was like, that's a good way to do it. They had come off of like a riff, and it's the natural progression there for what you would think goes there, and I was just like, oh man, this sounds, oh, that's Pink Floyd. But it was just fitting, so kudos to them for passing the Logan vibe check.
It's not hard to reference a song that closely and then get positive points from Logan.
Yeah, that is. They did tail off at the end too. It's really just like you have like a certain note string in my brain before I call you for copyright infringement, and they were about at that limit and then tailed off. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we don't have a Skyfall situation on our hands.
Yeah, no. Train people. Anyway. You guys ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
I hope anyone who hears that either gets the context or doesn't care.
We have Funeral Derangements. Any guesses?
You can go first this time, Carl.
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't know this was the game we were playing. I would have Googled it.
They didn't tell me until I got here. So
Well, you
then I
weren't
had
supposed to
start
Google
guessing.
it. That's the fun
that's the whole
of it.
point.
Yeah, but I don't even listen to lyrics the first listen 9 times out of 10. So you guys made it real hard.
I think this one is Pet Cemetery.
It is Pet Cemetery.
All right.
And I give it a 7 out of 10.
I gave it an 8.5.
I give it an 8 3/4.
I gave it an 8.
Yeah, quite frankly, probably should give this an 8. It's a quite good song. They put the car crash sound in, so Rip Gage and or Ellie, if you're a madman. The remake isn't awful, it's just not good. And then, other than that, I think this is a song that really is only good if you like the movie. Like, if you're an avid fan of the movie, you'll get this. If you just listen to it as a metal song, it is very boring.
The book's good. The movie's okay.
Yeah, but this is definitely based on the movie, not the book. I really wish people would read that book because it is so much better.
Like almost everything Stephen King that gets adapted.
I don't know. There's some things that I would say were better left out. Like in It.
Oh, yeah. Some parts of that book get pretty dark.
Yeah.
Me reading that as like a 10-year-old, yeah. It's a little... What are we talking about? This song? Funeral Derangements. Yeah, this is another one that felt like a real song, but it felt like a real good song, and I liked the energy.
Mm-hmm. I think this one is much heavier than the last one, which I know I just said I'm not the biggest fan of, but I still rated this one high because although it's heavier in the beginning, the cool guitar riffs and the chorus really made me like this one more.
Yeah, my first note is the heaviest one on the album so far. It won't stay there, but this was, I liked everything this song did. I think Logan is smoking crack a little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh, what?
I'm saying it's boring.
Oh, just if you're not a fan of the movie, I think. I think it repeats the tagline of the movie way too much. They say dead is better no less than 45 times. And it gets progressively more annoying. But I get the reference. So it's like, I think if I were to just show this to someone who's a fan of metal, they'd probably be like, oh, yeah. I like it. Yeah, it's a good track. I forgot to say it for the last track, but if you want to hear our thoughts on Psycho, go check out our video on our Horror Mount Rushmore soundtracks.
What am I doing? Hitting the buttons? Putting the hands on?
Do we have something, or is computer lying to me?
What?
Never mind.
Carl, comment again.
No.
Oh. Yeah. Pet Cemetery, great movie. Wild that they chose to put the car accident in the song. But I respect the play, you know.
I had to do something.
They really did, yeah. They also, I feel like, didn't do too much lyrically other than, like, the tagline. There's a few lines in there, but they're not noticeable.
I feel like that's kind of how a lot of this album is, in that it's like it ramps up and then drops back down. Like, you'll get one, like Assault and Batteries, that's what that is. But then the ones around it kind of aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm cheating a little bit because the first one isn't about anything, but
yeah, that one is unfortunately.
That is how it happens for the rest of this album, though.
Yeah, it's kind of lame.
I feel like there was a good balance of that on the last one.
The last one, yeah, they understood it more, but also, I think they kind of worked themselves into a box.
Is that a reference?
No. And just kind of thought they ran out of horror movies that people knew. And so then they kind of went into the deep cut territory. And I think they had plenty of other options that they just didn't exercise or think about.
Is that The Exorcist? Is that a reference also?
I was going to say they could have done The Exorcist as one. And I think they just were thinking too narrow-mindedly about horror. And then it really expanded with this one. But they were also thinking, well, let's go with B-cuts. And I think that's what led to a bunch of B-cut songs. and then it's just their biggest selling thing. So it's a little bit of a weird, confusing thing to me. All right, hop on to track 7, Rainy Day. Any guesses on this one?
I have no clue on this one.
They didn't say it 30 times in the song.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Let's say if you weren't listening to lyrics, I bet this one's pretty hard to figure out.
Other than it being this weird poppy thing.
I was just say you
Yeah.
literally can guess. I'll tell you that the movie and this song would get along well. At least the beat. You haven't seen this movie, I can guarantee you that.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
I
Maybe
probably haven't seen it either then.
This is Resident Evil.
That's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, this if you put this over like the grid scene or the hallway scene, I guess that's cooler to be called the grid scene because that's all we want to watch anyway. Yeah, if you put that over the hallway scene, it'd fit perfectly. Or like, screw it, put it in the second one and have it over the Nemesis fight. Be pretty cool. Other than that, it's a 6.75.
I gave it a 7.
This one got an 8 from me.
Gave it a 6.5, and I'll get this out of the way.
That's fair.
It's fine.
Yeah, it is a pop song predominantly. And the references to the movie or the games or anything Resident Evil aren't particularly phenomenal. They're very, very, very surface level. Except the beat. Like I said, the beat is straight out of something that would have been in Resident Evil 1, the movie. And I think that is commendable. So that's where all 6.75 of my points came from.
So I think this is one of the least heavy on the album, in my opinion. So we went from being more heavy to then going back to not really heavy at all. I thought it was just okay. I mean, it's catchy, but not very, like, memorable. So yeah.
Yeah, just wrote it's a weird pop vibe, but the breakdown goes hard. I don't know. My notes are not very deep today. I don't know what's going on.
We got another good album. Like a well-produced, well-polished.
Yeah, I listened on these earlier too, so I can't tell the mix. That's some of it.
It's kind of it's another Georgie and the Dragon situation, I guess, for recent reference of like niche. It's like horror metal audience, which is, I would say for the most part, most horror fans are metal fans. They kind of just go hand in hand.
Does that mean that most horror fans also make horror movies? Because there's more metal musicians than listeners. So
I think I would say no, but it's just because people are afraid to try at filmmaking, but not music for some reason.
I just thought that'd be an interesting.
Next album, Yapcast.
It's probably because the front half of film production is way more than the front half of making a song.
That's very true. Yeah, you can make a metal album in your bedroom
Mm-hmm.
pretty easily because most of the drum stuff, most of anything other than guitar and bass is fake. You just got to put a booth in your closet.
Ironically, by this time next year, we'll probably have a video explaining how to do both of those things.
Probably. All right. We'll go ahead and go on to track 8, Hip to Be Scared. Guesses?
Do you want to guess?
Oh, you go ahead. You look like you know.
I think I do. American Psycho.
Yup. Give it a 7.5.
I also gave it a 7.5.
I'm gonna give this one a 10.
Nice. Gave it an 8.
I respect the 10.
Mhm.
I really just think this one was a little too on the nose with him saying American Psychos as like the kind of main line of the chorus. But the outro was chef's kiss great. Like the whole actual Huey Lewis part was really well done, really captured the boys in the news, you know.
Yeah, so I really like the whole middle part where it goes into like this theatrical thing, which I think really like pulls it back to like the theme of the album, like being more like a cinema theme. And then I think all the switch ups and changes and speeds made it really interesting and fun.
That was my whole note, basically. No, I just put this is the point where the album's hitting its stride. You know, I like that the choruses were in 6/8. And the second time they go into the chorus, they kick to it from almost this double time thing, and it is flawless. The tempo does not change. It's just nails, and it's such a cool thing to hear a band actually pull something like that off because so many people get it wrong. Of course, I love the Huey Lewis reference too, so this is a cool one for me. I also love American Psycho. It's my kind of horror. So.
I do think it helps that these guys are big horror and big music fans. And it clearly shows. People that wanted to just write a song about American Psycho would have listened to Huey Lewis and be like, yeah, we can play that. And then just tried. These guys clearly either like knew it or sat down with somebody who knew what to do and they listened. And that is very, very commendable. I mean, they've been paid their money and got their due for it, so I don't need to praise them anymore for it. But round of applause for that, I suppose. Anything else on this one? All right, we'll go to track 9. Take your pick. Guesses?
Do you want me to go ahead?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Well, this is another obvious one because they say it multiple times, but I would go with My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah. I gave it a 6.
I gave this one a 5.
I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 7.
This one a 4.75.
Get this out of the way.
I mean, I can talk if you want. This probably is too heavy for me, especially on kind of a thematic album. If I'm in the mood for it, I'm in the mood for it, but it doesn't fit what's going on around it.
This is too heavy for the album.
Yeah.
I understand how cool it is to have the feature. I get it. This, to me, is a bonus track.
Yeah.
You put meet and greet here. You put
Do that.
this where meet and greet is, and everybody's happy.
But I did really like the breakdown. It's I wrote gnarly, so it must be pretty vicious. Totally tubular.
We'll get the positives out of the way. The actual song itself is fine. It doesn't super fit on this album, and both the heavy and the clean vocals are pretty good. My issue came with the samples. How was it? I have it written down here. The You'll Be Mine sample plays too many times. It's too annoying. I did not like it. The biggest issue I have is I find it really hard to care about this track, especially within the context of the album.
Yeah, this is also a movie that I feel like people really don't care about. It's like, I think it's 81 maybe. It's a Canadian film, and then they remade it in like 09 with Jensen Ackles and did it in 3D. I love both of those movies, but they're both objectively terrible to some regard in some fashion, and it's just something that I think a lot of people weren't really gonna get, so they kind of had to cram it down your throat. And it's just like, all right, I'm a fan of those movies, and even I don't like this song that much.
Those are kind of cult classics, you know. The remake is kind of cheesy, but the original one is like.
I see the original is a cult film for sure, but it is. I mean, it's the same way that like Evil Dead's a cult film, but still has like avid haters because it's got some crappy parts to it. I love it, but it's that 80s kind of bad, you know, where it's so bad it's good.
I get it. We've talked about it. I don't tend to like any of the Rob Zombie movies, so similar.
Yeah, those take a special kind of messed up brain. I own every Rob Zombie film, by the way.
Guess that makes you more human than human. Wow, that was terrible.
All right. Anything else? Go on to track 10, The Box. Any guesses?
I got them all wrong last year, so.
Yeah, Carl, what you got though?
It's not Saw, so I have no idea.
Okay, I cheated on this one a little bit. So, I knew that they kept mentioning like the pins and the needles or whatever, so I knew it was the guy with the pins in his head, but I didn't know the name of the movie, so I googled that part. That's the only way I cheated. But Hellraiser.
You'll never guess what his name is.
It's Pinhead.
Is it?
Yes. She was down there and she's like, guys, what's that movie with the guy with the pins and needles in his head? And I'm like, I'm literally not going to tell you the answer to that. It's just funny. It's also even funnier because in the room that we sleep in on my desk, there's a lament configuration just sitting there every morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
It's a lament configuration Rubik's Cube that I have and I have solved, and how Pinhead did not come out and get me. I was very upset. But this song gets a 9.
I gave it an 8.
You gave it an 8.5.
I also gave it an 8.5.
Look, the riff goes insane. It's a bunch of cool like harmonics and then just movement. And also the song has a lot of movement to it. All of the vocal lines have a good cadence. They're fun, they're catchy. And then you get this fat Pinhead speech like you would get in the films. And it's just, as someone who's fell in love with the visuals of Hellraiser like at a mildly young age and is now going back to really experience what they mean on a deeper level, this is just a great song.
Yeah, this one was a contender for top 3. It was right on the edge there. This was, I think, the best song, the song that balances the references the best. I think I said earlier it was the one with the most, but I think that's wrong. After we started talking about assault and batteries, but this one does it the best. Like, there's enough there that you obviously know they're there, and it's not thrown in your face as much.
This feels like one that maybe just got cut off the first album because it
Could've been.
feels right in the same vein as Thank God It's Friday or American Nightmare. The references are almost so exact with how those are done that makes me think it was done either near that writing session or in the same one as that album.
Could be.
I almost gave this a thumbs up. I just wrote it has a jam with energy. So I don't know if it's like boysenberry jam or specifically what kind, but just wrote jam.
I said I like the back and forth. Did you guys feel like that was supposed to be like a conversation like amongst like all the characters in a movie? Because that's what I was kind of picking up, was like they're all having like a conversation, they're moving back and forth like between people talking, but I wasn't sure.
Kind of assumed it was supposed to just be like the Cenobites, I guess, because there's 3 Cenobites, so I suppose I was just like, yeah, it's probably the 3 of them.
Okay.
Just being like, rah. So that's all they do, you know. They just think of rah, and then they hook you and chain you and rip your guts out and tear your skin off. And
Yeah.
except for that one girl that solved the box because she just liked solving boxes. That's a real plot point I wish I was lying about. They legit like give it to a girl. That whole thing is like she solves puzzles. And they're like, yeah, just give it to her. She'll solve the box, summon Pinhead, we'll get a wish, and she'll die. Genius. And then Pinhead pulls up after she solves it, and he's like, whoa, they tricked us. Don't kill her. She's just curious. Go watch Hellraiser 2. Yeah. Anything else for this song, anybody? All right. We'll go to track 11, FLY. Any guesses on this movie?
Is it The Fly?
It is The Fly.
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It
I
is
couldn't think of what it was.
arguably one of the most referenced movies, I would say, in modern media.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird watch. It's Jeff Goldblum.
It's
I don't know
it's
why
have
I've
you ever heard
never-
of With Him? And then he teleports and is like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome!" But the DNA merges.
Okay, this is gonna sound so dumb, but have you seen Monsters vs. Aliens? And the the guy that turned
It's
into
a
a
re- it's-
bug, is that
that's
the
a
reference
reference,
to
yeah.
that? Okay,
100%.
okay.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. This is like arguably one of the most referenced.
Okay, so I
things.
guess I've seen the references, just didn't know
Oh.
what they were referencing.
It's actually a lot of people don't take Jeff Goldblum seriously because of the characters he tends to play, but he acts very well in that one too.
I'll have to
This
watch
is a
it.
movie that was definitely written with Jeff Goldblum in mind to play the lead because it's a very Jeff Goldblum script. He only plays himself and everything, but he does it so fantastically well. So go watch Jurassic Park and then go watch this. It is the exact guy as him in Thor Ragnarok. You know, it's all just Jeff.
Did you have every tab open that you possibly could?
I don't know why I just decided to clear my phone up, but yeah, I don't clear any of my apps out. Yeah, I was going to check for YouTube, but it appears that one was closed out on my phone. Are we still live? Anybody?
We're trying.
It's internet.
Moving slow.
Liv, are
Nope.
you?
Okay, we're good on
Wi-Fi?
computer end. I was not.
Oh,
Yeah, now I am.
Definitely hurt, but should be back now.
all right. It would not be a Halloween live without some technical
Of
difficulties.
course. We didn't even send this one in the garage though.
That's true. But yeah, I gave the fly a 7 out of 10.
7.5.
Okay, this one an 8 3/4.
7.5, and I have much less notes than most other songs.
That is exactly how I am. I think this is when it really sat in that I can't particularly hear the guitars on this version of the album, like at all.
You talking about the Apple AI mix?
No, I listened to the deluxe edition of this album, and I'm either they uploaded it different, they remastered it, remixed it, or something. But you can hear the guitars better in literally every song.
Yeah, so the version I listened to on Apple Music, it specifically said Apple AI mix on every single track. So they must have checked a box that they shouldn't have, because that was the other reason I was going to talk about the mix. There are some weird...
The AI mix is just at the end of the song. It's the transition between the two. AI auto mixes it.
I have that turned off. That's weird. Okay. I hate Apple sometimes. It hates me too, but it's fair.
It's new. They probably have it set to turn itself back on at some point.
I think
Love that.
I forgot to turn it on after last album review, and it was still, it turned on after like a day or so.
Okay, so if these songs do have good transitions and I complain about it, then smack me.
Oh, they don't.
Okay.
One or two do.
That's the last 4. They're not like the most perfect we've ever seen.
They're
but
smooth.
they're on
Yeah.
purpose. They're
They'll-
definitely on purpose.
There was a good one between the last two, but that was the only
It's
one
like
I cut.
the end of this one,
Hmm.
and it's subtler. The last 2 are definitely the most that have it.
The
but,
last two are clean.
yeah, but all 4 of these have something that seems intentional.
Nice. Well, back to FOI. I just appreciated that this was a track that was actually a track. There's verses and choruses, and I think there's even a bridge. And it does have a catchy hook.
Yeah, I really like the transitions between the growling and then the singing. Especially like in the first one, it's like starts with the growling, then it slowly fades out while the singing gets really louder. And it does that a couple times, and I always thought it was super cool when it did it. This one is also less heavy than others, but to me, it's also a good mix between the heavy and the lighter music, which I really like when that happens. So, yeah.
That was most of my notes, is that this has the same problem on the lighter side that, oh god, I forget which one it was. Was it Take Your Pick? One of them was like too heavy for this album almost. This is the opposite of that.
That would have
Was
been,
it?
yeah, Take Your Pick.
That's what I thought. Yeah, it's good. It's much cleaner, much more melodic, but it, like I said, almost doesn't fit on this album.
Yeah. All right. We'll hop right into track 12, Worst Vacation. Any guesses? Let's say, Liv, you're not
So
allowed to
this-
say we told you.
Was it a National Lampoon's Family Vacation?
How did he know?
We're
This
going
is
to Wally World?
This is Hostile. Yeah. I gave this an 8 out of 10.
I gave this one a 7, and I don't know if I'm doing this right, but
Ooh, ka-chow. I give this one an 8.
Give it a 7.75.
Look, I watched Hostel when I was like 10, so the memory on it is very fuzzy. I just know it took place in Germany, so they got the German metal references correct. They did that right. It just felt kind of pulled back, you know? I feel like they could have gone a different route and the song would have worked a lot better. We were discussing that downstairs. It's basically if they just sounded like Rat-ta-ta-ta by Electric Callboy and Baby Metal, but less baby metal, you know? it would have been pretty much exactly what I think they were going for.
My main note is I have not seen Hostel, so I feel like I'm missing the references. But the skit at the end was good. The song is good. And we are completely done with it being cleaner. Because I was like, this last one is the cleanest, most melodic song on the album. And then we immediately went into this.
Yeah, I liked the drum and bass sections. That's the German metal coming through. You know, I dig that. I just started to have a problem really differentiating the tracks here. I guess that's partially the way the fades are working, but I don't know. From after the Child's Play song after, I don't know that I could tell you which tracks were with which, other than lyrically. They all just sound so similar. So that was my only negative here. None of them scored badly because of it. But
I think when you listen to all of them, I agree with you. But when I pick them out as singles, like the ones that to me have that kind of star power are recognizable, but I would say I agree with you on 90% of this album being very similar until you look at the lyrics.
I mean, I tend to think that about every song that uses a down-tuned distorted guitar. I think they all sound the same. You play the same riffs every song no matter what. I mean, if you run them the same tempos and do all that stuff, they just tend to get monotonous.
It's really just like certain songs, like Take Your Pick, because it's a little heavier, has more squeals and is tuned a little lower, or Songs Yet to Come have a specific beat.
Yeah.
And then I mean Rainy Day I think is pretty instantly recognizable. None of these songs are songs I particularly think are great except the next track, but they're the recognizable ones. But yeah, to me, their better tracks are the ones that kind of blend in a little more, but they just focus on actually writing better lyrics and being more clever. Because as they sit musically, it's going to sound really bad, I guess. In a modern day of metal, it is hard to stand out and be unique just because of how the market works.
Oh yeah, it's genre constraints. That's why all country music sounds the same.
You have to be very specific, or else you're going to piss off your current fans, or you won't make any new ones if you try something that fails too hard. And it's a very kind of harsh box that you have to work in. And this is definitely a band that wanted to get radio play. You can tell the difference between the heaviness of the first album and this one, where the heavy songs are the features. So
they have a whole song on the first album about that, if you watch the music video.
Yeah, without splitting hairs, I won't say metal as a whole is very limiting. A lot of metal is very freeing. I know a lot of friends in genres that have core and post in the names, and
radio metal is very...
That's it. Commercialized metal is very, very in the box. Very, very... You have a prescribed template, and even though they're doing crazy things, all the things they do fit in that template. So that's probably what it is.
Yeah, whenever I say metal like that, just metal, it just means radio metal, man. Yeah. Everything else gets the specification because they have, there's some sort of art form there. This is not to say that there is no art form here, but when you're going for just radio play or the specificity of trying to get fans or something like that, you lose a bit of the art to sacrifice gaining people that are more interested in the vibe or something like that instead of the deeper meaning or picture. And you can tell that with certain tracks on here that are more pop tracks, and we've seen it in bands like Metallica with the whole Black Album. It's just one of those things that people do to stay relevant and, well, ultimately get paid. The short answer is to get paid.
Well, I will say this: you can get paid as a metal musician and not have to do covers, though, which is really cool. Most metal bands don't, and if they do, they're typically covers of non-metal songs, so it's kind of neat.
I do like their cover of Someone Like You. Actually, there would not have been a review on that. It was not on that EP that we lost a review of.
No, you're right, it wasn't.
It wasn't. We may have just tacked it on because we
thought it was. We just lost that footage.
I know we lost that footage.
Because that was the reason you even brought it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it wasn't on the vinyl of the EP.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I almost bought the vinyl and it wasn't on there. I was pissed.
That's how the legend of the missing EP review was born.
Yeah, they're sits.
This it's like 6 videos maybe that are just gone
In the void, like 6 EP reviews.
Mhm.
One of which is an Ice Nine Kills EP review with Steven and I from one of their older EPs that we checked out. It was pretty good.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a future video. Actually, I think we did talk about it in Build Club 2, the original, which was a couple days before we got some of the footage back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we talked about what happened in the part 2.0 and then part 3, which is part 2. Actual. Yeah. Yeah, weird.
Wild set of circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll go ahead and head on to track 13, Ex Mortis. Any guesses, y'all? See, Liv, we told you this one. Carl, if you have a guess.
I have no idea. Is it Scandinavian? It's got the little slash through the O.
It is not.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you now. She told me.
Well, Evil Dead.
It is Evil Dead. Yeah, and I give this track a 10.
Oh, 9.5.
I give this one an 8.
10.
I think this track is another just super fun one. This to me is definitely a more radio track. But I like Enter Sandman, so I'm fine with that. It hits the references in the right places. The shotgun blast into the breakdown. It didn't feel excessive. It's also like a sea shanty, and that's just a vibe. I would have assumed not pirates for Evil Dead, but now that I was presented pirates, I'm not disappointed.
Yeah, this one I think I'm good to call it the most different song maybe that they have. Definitely on this album, not a question, but everything on here is great. Putting the horns on here is not something that you would think would do this song well, but it does. I kind of disagree about the references a little bit. I think there's a little, probably too many, but it's fine. It's not a big deal.
I feel like there's a section where it's real heavy,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, the rest of the song is kind of like empty. So it's just I think they have the right amount of references, just the wrong amount of spread.
That's fair.
It's like they put a glob of peanut butter in the middle of their sandwich and called it a day.
Fair enough.
Sorry, when you said that, I imagined the flavor profile of like a ham and Swiss sandwich with peanut butter on it. I almost threw up.
It kind of sounds good though. Hold up.
No.
No, it doesn't.
No, see, it works with jelly. You just deep fry it. And then you get my favorite sandwich.
Yep.
I can go next about this one. This is my favorite chorus in the whole album. This one's super theatrical, very playful, and just less serious than the others, which is definitely my vibe. But yeah.
The only real note I have is that this is the perfect amount of intro. There's usually too much intro if someone does an intro, but this is just enough that it did something and then got out of the way for the song. I appreciate that.
What happened? Oh.
Face
Sorry,
hugger.
the face hugger hit the fade to black button.
Nice. I've always wanted to fade to black.
You did. You just did.
Oh, man. That was all my notes, though.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyone else? All right, we'll hop into track 14, Farewell to Flesh. Any guesses?
I don't have anything.
I feel like I know it, but I also feel like I don't know it. So
If I told you to go into the mirror and say it 3 times, you would say... Not
Beetlejuice,
Bloody
Beetlejuice,
Mary.
Beetlejuice.
Oh gosh, Carl. It is Candyman.
Hmm.
And I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I also gave it an 8 out of 10.
Give it an 8.5.
Give this one a 9.
Yeah, it's great references, good track, great drive. The real, I think, key thing though that I loved in the track was just the outro, the ending of just the buzzing bees. It was very, very good, very fitting.
Yeah, the B references make more sense now because they also did Flight of the Bumblebee on the guitar in the middle of it.
Okay, so I'm not smoking crack. I wrote down that I thought they did it and then missed it on my listen this time. Like I was convinced that was in there and then didn't hear it.
Yeah, it's in there. I really like the orchestral stuff on this one. There's a really cool orchestral intro, and then there's a big orchestral build up into the breakdown. This is, I won't say it's the only time, but this is the best use of dynamics on the album for sure.
I think it has some pretty cool guitar parts in this one, and I like what you just said. The build up, it gives it like a big like cinematic ending to like this cinema themed album.
Just realized it's the same thing they did on the last one. Which I also gave that one a 9.
All right, ready to go to pacing?
Hmm.
I gave this a 6.75.
What movie is this one a reference to?
Pacing?
No, it's flow. It's a reference to the Progressive commercial.
It's actually a reference to the animated movie Flow that won the Oscar for Best Animated Picture. Yeah,
I think that one was a horror movie, but
it was from like the cast perspective. I didn't watch it. I don't know if that's true or not. But
Someone telling me they can lower my rate on car insurance is definitely a horror movie.
you know, if I ran into Flo just out and about and she was in that uniform, was like, I can lower your insurance. That is a horror movie right there. I'd be scared.
Or you're hallucinating.
Yeah, or I'm on like acid or something and I'm having a really, really bad day.
Which is also a good horror movie. Maybe it's more of an action movie. Depending on.
Flo and the Acid Trip. That sounds like a band. Or a King Gizzard album.
Anyways, I gave pacing 8.5.
Oh yeah, I give it a 7.
I also gave it a 7.
I think Carl frankly said it best earlier. It's just there's a lot of things that are indistinguishable other than the lyrics, and as Carson has previously stated, that is not rewarded. I think the first album, that's the sucky part, is we have another album to directly compare this to. We have the first one, and this is just leagues worse. Some of the songs kind of flip-flop. You know, you have this like some are softer, and you get smacked in the face by the world's heaviest track that shouldn't even be on the album in the first place. A bunch of like B-cut movie references that kind of don't make sense when there's still A-cuts available. Like, why, you know?
I don't know. I wrote the album moved quickly, but it moved randomly. You know, all that bouncing around in the songs is kind of what got me. Is like, it just seemed like there wasn't a lot of direction. And even though everything does tend to be similar, which actually helps the pacing score a little bit, I just felt like it was kind of all over the place.
I do think you feel every bit of 47 minutes, but you feel it in weird chunks. Yeah. It's like 13 minutes passes, and then you're like, oh gosh, this is the longest 10 minutes of my life. It's weird.
Sometimes the metal albums can do that because they're so high energy that it can almost drain you if they don't give you enough breaks. And I think this album is a little guilty of that too.
Mm-hmm.
So the more I'm hearing you guys like talk, I feel like I didn't understand what pacing meant. So I did rate it high, but like the only note I put was that it felt like a scary movie marathon. Like we're going through all these different movies. Like we start with like the intro and it's introducing you to like what's about to happen. Then you're going through a marathon, and then they have the big cinematic ending at the end. But from what I'm hearing from you guys, I think I do agree more now that I kind of understand what we meant by pacing. So
I mean, pacing is all still perspective. As far as like a concept goes, the concept that is there works, and it works well in that concept. You know, the idea of a 47-minute showcase of 13 or 12 different horror movies. This is what it would be like. It's just like musically could be a little draining.
I think it definitely, the front half suffers more than the back half, I think. Front half is kind of intro into a zigzag of whatever they felt like putting there, and then the end felt more like if there was a concept, an actual concept album.
The end did feel a little more polished, yeah.
At least the last like 4 or 5.
It also makes me think they kind of wrote this in sequential order, because it's like they kind of were warming up as a band together the first couple. Other than Horrorwood. Horrorwood feels like the last track they wrote. That feels like it was supposed to almost be the end track, and then they decided.
I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to album art. I gave this a 7.5.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I gave it a 9, but only because it was moving around. So the regular one's probably not as good.
That's right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, just. I also give it a 9.
Oh,
We're losing it again.
who's back on the Wi-Fi?
It's not me.
It's not me.
And we'll give it a second to.
Catch up.
Yep.
Doom.
It's really cool when it moves around. Just telling you.
Did you see
Yeah.
Did you see the deluxe move around?
Yeah, it's like
It's on
lava
fire.
going through the town. Or, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw it was like flashing red and the face kept moving in and out, and it was kind of cool.
Sorry.
Is this error? Is YouTube having problems?
Probably. I also got the internet bill yesterday and haven't paid it yet, so they might be slowing us down until I do that. I was gonna do it like tomorrow or something.
They're like, yeah, give us money, please.
Throttling. You're getting throttled right now.
Although we are up to 10 views now. Wow, look at that.
There's 8 on right now watching us struggle.
Is it playing well enough?
No.
Shoot.
Maybe. Wait, we might be back. I think we're good.
All right. Oh, there it
There it
is.
is.
There's that excellent. Oh, turn it back on, Carl.
It never does it when I want it to. All right, we're back.
Oh
And we're back.
Yeah, I think it's fitting. It works. I prefer the first one. I think the first one's better. But yeah, it's still pretty good. It is unfortunate that the first one went kind of more of the like movie poster theme or like movie art theme, and this is just kind of like a cool picture that they have. It's got the mask of like which is a mascot for their band, kind of vaguely, somewhat. But
I didn't check. Did they do any music videos for this album?
There's one.
Hip to Be Scared got it.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Because I know the first one had like a series of 4 or 5 that were pretty much a movie on their own.
I think Welcome to Horrorwood also got one, but I
That would
think
make
it was later on.
Mm.
Like maybe for the special edition, they got the video.
I feel like if they didn't do like a documentary or a mockumentary for the special edition, that's a missed opportunity.
Very.
Yeah, I just wrote it's exactly what it should be. You know, whenever an album art manages to, what's the right word? Like, encapsulate, I guess, everything that's on the album. You know, you get some of the goofiness, you get some of the inspirations, you get that it's going to be about movies. You know, you can take it on face value, and even though I don't think it's particularly original or anything, it's just a weird movie poster. I just think it gets points for that.
I wish I went back and checked what I gave the first one, because I would just give this 1 point under that.
Yeah, I just kind of guessed.
So the odds are we all gave it a 10.
I don't think so. Were we primed to give albums 10s by that point?
That is true. We usually didn't do
I
that.
think we kind of broke that seal with Origami Angel.
Yeah, I don't know. My scores have been creeping up. Ever since Majestica, I just had to let things creep up to make sure that their score could stay the same and not have to go back and tentatively give it a 0.
As I say, yeah, can I retroactively give that negative points?
Yeah.
Album art at least, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Actually, no, I put a condition
we
on
did
my
a
review.
Stipulation. All right. We ready to go to album overall?
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 7.75.
7.5.
I gave it an 8.
I also gave it an 8.
It's a real tight grouping, guys. Good
Mhm.
job.
I really don't think I could have given it an 8 just on the fear that I think I gave the last one an 8. I was like, I'm pretty sure I did. And this is worse. It is not like bad. I don't want that to come across, but it's like if someone were to go, oh, I want to get into Ice Nine Kills, and they were like, which album do I listen to? It's Silver Scream. It is not Horrorwood. It's Silver Scream. There are good singles off of here. There are singles that I think could have fit on there. I think this album as a whole is a fine listen. There are tracks I skip, though. It's the honest truth. I don't skip any on the first one.
That is true. I skip one.
Yeah, you're an unequivocal hater of one, but
That is true.
it's just, it really sucks because comparatively this album is worse. But on its own, it's still a good album, hence why it's got a 7.75. It's not a bad album in any way.
Yeah, I just wrote, it's fun. This is a fun listen. I don't think it's my bag by any means, but especially this time of year, it was the right time for it. It's a fun listen.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I guess I should give the first one a listen too. I did think this one was a good pick, but I also want to say that I do like how it doesn't just encapsulate the movies like lyrically, but like also like with the instruments and everything. Like if it's a super chaotic movie, then it's a super fast song. If it's a suspenseful, sorry, I can't say that word, I guess, suspenseful movie, then it kind of moves slow and then has like a really like chaotic end or something like that, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, I think about half of this album is already spread out between a couple playlists, and I added a couple more after today. I'm not gonna stop listening.
Oh yeah, I own it on vinyl. It's
Mhm.
still gonna get spun. I just think that's a wild comment out of you, knowing you have only seen at most 4.
No, that might be true, but it's still cool. Like I know I might not have seen all of these movies, but I know of these movies. Like I know the like basic idea of the movies, so like I know what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah, I do think the sound bites are spot on most of the time. I do disagree a little musically. I think they tend to just kind of go the Ice Nine Kills way, except for on Ex Mortis. That is really where they kind of went like outside of their comfort zone.
I guess my argument would be they did it better on the first one.
So, weird enough, I think I actually have seen more of these than on the other album.
Really, you haven't hit like the base layer of watches?
No, because I typically hate those movies. Like I don't enjoy Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th or any of. I just think they're cliche. So I don't know.
They invented the
Yeah.
cliche.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I understand, but it's like, I don't really like Miles Davis kind of blue either, because it's just like, oh, this is jazz.
This is what the definition of jazz is.
Yeah. Same thing.
I respect that. You don't want to watch the popular pick.
It's not even that. You're making me
Or
sound
you
like some
don't-
sort of criminal hipster, and I'm wearing a fedora, and that's a double insult.
You don't usually get along with the popular pick.
Yeah, I tend to think the good stuff's just right under the top layer. So
Do the sleepaway camp in a field full of Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans.
I like that one. Okay, but
Yeah, am I up?
Yeah.
I'm up. All right.
We don't have to do an ad read this week.
No, I mean, we still can if we want to.
We
but-
can, yeah. Unfortunately, none of us are wearing any merch.
we got mugs.
We do have our Album Mug Club
Yeah,
mugs. You can check all of our merch out over on our Fourth Wall store. You can get our varsity hoodies as well as our recently added, I think, Album Book Club zips and our Album Mug Club mugs, as well as all prior seasons merch. You should go check it out. I like our desk mats.
Yeah, our desk mats are sweet.
Mhm.
Speaking of being beggars for a minute, we are so close to 1,000 guys. Like, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it helps us a lot. We can give you a lot of love that way. We're just so close. I just feel like I need to ask if you can interact with us at all or subscribe to any of that stuff. We really appreciate it.
any video ideas or anything like that, we do read every comment. That is very true. We may crap on your comment in private and or on the live, but we will read it.
Yeah, we tend not to respond negatively, but we will make some comments snidely on the lives, maybe.
Also, if you don't like us, just comment something that you know we don't like to listen to, and then we'll have to listen to it.
You don't even have to come back for the review. That's the best part.
Yeah.
You could just force us to listen to something awful. Or something that you know we're going to hate but is very popular. Please don't do that one. But yeah.
We do have some that we won't do. There are some artists that we won't talk
Yeah.
bad about.
There are.
That is
That is true. There are some, I think, if we were suggested, we'd probably just look away.
We just
And
we
most of them probably would subscribe or surprise you, like Dolly Parton. You don't make fun of Dolly Parton. Doesn't matter.
I think I'd have a hard time even trying
I
to
was
do
gonna
that
say, yeah.
anyway.
Depends on the album.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Next week, we are reviewing Don't Let Them See You Cry by the Boondocks. This is an album suggested to us in a video that will be out tomorrow. It's always going to be that way. They're I believe, two-piece band from New Zealand.
Yep. All right.
We gonna get shots? All right.
All right. Oh,
Now we can
There
fade
we
to
go.
black. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
nope. We faded to black anyway because it hit the button again.